at 7. Working against Butler. Got downhill. Couldn't punch it. Bam says, get it out of here. Here comes Bledsoe. Bam with a great block from behind. Bam. Oh, my. And out of bio.
So what's up you guys, your man NBA fan Craziest here, back on the channel with another video. Before we get on to today's video, make sure subscribe to the channel to not miss a piece of daily NBA content. Now saying all of that, let's get on to today's video. So the Miami Heat lost to the Dallas Mavericks 83-93, partly because of the incredible game Luka Doncic had. 27 points, 15 rebounds and 7 assists. He's a really crafty player overall. This game proved why he should be in the list of MVP favorites and why he should be the consensus MVP favorite so far. So in order to see the takeaways of the game, let's roll the tape. So number one, Luka Doncic, he is a hell of a player, man. We already knew how Luka Doncic was. Like, people favored this guy to be the MVP favorite from odds makers. And from what I watched this game, pretty good. Even though he's somewhat shooting like what, a 9, before that game I think it was like 9%. He's not a bad shooter. For all the people who want to point out the percentage and say he's a bad shooter, he takes ridiculously tough threes. You saw how long from distance he took those threes. Like, I'm not trying to make an excuse, but people act like he's only taking a normal three when he has to take like 26 to 28 foot threes almost in most of his attempts. And it's not like he's catch and shoot either. It's mostly have to create off the dribble kind of threes. But he is a very crafty player. And one thing that makes him crafty is his change of speed, man. He is not like, he's pretty athletic, but you wouldn't think of Luka Doncic to be athletic when it first comes to your mind. But he is still pretty athletic. No way he's not athletic. He is athletic, but that's not the first thought that comes to your mind. For me, the first one, change of pace. And when he didn't change of pace, he can change it in an instant. That delicacy and that footwork in the post sometimes, because most of those points come from backing down smaller defenders and shooting over smaller defenders. And he's a pretty good player in the post. And this was exhibited by the fact that he put the moves on Bam. He managed to get rid of Bam in the last second to score an easy layup at the rim. So he tried to go one-on-one. I think, like, as per what I was hearing, like, John Crotty was just giving the mic back to Jason Jackson. Jason Jackson trying to give it back to Eric Reed and John Crotty, and that's when Bam was trying to got Luka one-on-one, and then Luka put the moves on him. Like, he just shifted his pivot foot and then shot it, and that's not a travel by NBA rulebook. Because after the moving of your pivot foot, you have to either pass or shoot at the next instant. He did lay the ball and so basically shoot the ball. He's a really crafty player, and he did go 3 for 9. And sometimes this game it frustrated me because the Mavericks sometimes made so many contested threes with the hand in the face. And that frustrated me as a fan. But as far as taking away from this game, it really did make a difference, because Luka Doncic is a crafty player. We know that. He relies mostly on change of speed. His step back sometimes is lethal. At times, he made 3 of 10 from 3. And he had a pretty good game. 27 points, 15 rebounds, and 7 assists. That was a pretty good game. And even watching him, it's not like he was blurry, fast or anything. He did it in a gradual manner. But he hit 3 for 10 from 3. So did Tim Hardaway Jr. And some of the threes he made did frustrate me at times. Because the number of threes these two made, Luka and Hardaway Jr., some of them were really... I got mad as a fan. because we are trying to give a whole effort and they're just hitting threes and then stretching the lead. Which leads to our second takeaway. The Miami Heat were not good from 3-point land. They were not good at all from 3-point land. The 7 for 33 says different, but if you watch the game, I think according to what I was watching Fox Sports Sun, but according to what Eric Reed was saying while I was watching the game, they started out 0 for 14. I think at the half 0 for 14. I think it's tied for a franchise worst start. And every single time I was telling my mind, if you cannot shoot the 3, take the ball into the damn paint. Because you're already I think you're already outscoring the Mavs in that area into the paint. Why didn't you take it into the paint? My question. Like, when you're not hitting the threes, at least take an effort to get into the damn paint. Because as far as what the games went, they are playing the Mavs in the paint and they're winning the battle. But you just try to go for so many threes, it'll only get you that far. As far as you can say, the saying goes, you live by the 3, you damn well die by the 3. That's what happened to Houston in Game 7 against Golden State. They missed 27 straight threes because why? When they missed threes, they should have tried to get into the paint. But they didn't, because they just kept overloading threes. Like, I was screaming at this, I was like wondering, why didn't you go into the paint? Like, I don't understand. Like, sometimes you try to go into when they try to go into the paint in the fourth quarter, pretty effective, I would say. That's when they started to stage this run, 30-20. Like, I'm not saying the Mavs did do this, but getting into the paint against team like the Mavs and they're missing the rim protector in Porzingis have a massive result. When you try to go for so many threes, it'll only take you that far. And number of attempts, you should have lowered the number of attempts, contributed them towards easier baskets. And sometimes number of threes you take, it just frustrated me. When you knew you are in hot, just go for the easier baskets in the paint. That's it. And it frustrated me as a whole that and one more two takeaways I'm gonna combine into one here. Like, I was really frustrated with the 3-point shooting here. It's not even with the fact that they missed so many threes. That too wasn't. But the fact that if you knew you're that bad from 3, you're off from 3, just get into the paint. You have Bam, who's a 6'9" big man, makes most of his offense in the paint or playmaking out of the high post. And speaking of Bam, he was the best player on this team today. He's been the best player of the Heat so far this season. And his mid-range jumper really is coming along, because I saw like 2 or 3 instances where he made the mid-range jumper consistent, like the 10 to 12 foot jumper. And him making the 10 to 12 foot jumper really goes far in how effective the Heat can be. If he becomes, like, let's say, at least like to a point that defenses have to respect him, opens up a lot. And I'm happy to see that even if we lose. Because improvement from a young player is what will get us far. Especially with Butler being 31 and like Dragic being like 34 right now. Because I think his birthday is like May. He's 34. The Heat as of right now will rely on improvement from the youngsters, and having Bam go, and for the past few games I've been observing Bam has started to hit the mid-range a lot, and most of his offense and his baskets he's still gonna be more reliant on the paint, but him making those mid-range shots will open up the floor a lot, and they won't have to sag off of him. At least if they overload on him, you're quick enough to get to the rim. Because he has a quickness edge on most centers in this game. And if he starts to hit that mid-range, also opens up the paint. And him hitting that mid-range jumper made me happy, because that was one few things I was really happy about this game. Him hitting that mid-range jumper. Because then it will shrink the floor, and then all you have to do is sag off and he won't hit the shot. So him making that shot really made me happy, even though we lost the game. Because it goes as far, because him being the second best player on this team, being the best player on this team for this season, but as in general, I think he's the second best player on this team. Him hitting those shots will open up a lot of stuff for the Heat. And speaking about the best player on the Heat, Jimmy Butler was clearly not himself during this game. Partly because the ankle injury came back from. I'm not acting like an excuse, but you can just see how many, he missed bunnies at the rim. And most of Jimmy's offense since he came to the Heat were mostly at the rim. And him going 0 for 6, I think this is culminated fact that he was blocked by Tim Hardaway Jr. at the rim. He didn't go with the same speed, burst and aggression he did to the rim. And he only hit 2 points, both of which came off of free throws. The only one he missed being the technical which Luka Doncic was assigned to at the end of the second quarter. He missed that one. And he clearly wasn't himself this game. I could see it because Jimmy, whenever he goes to the rim, he goes with aggression. He goes with the fact that no one's gonna beat him to that spot when he's on full drive to the goal. But this game felt a little bit off because he wasn't going with the same aggression. He looked to pass a lot more. And this has been a constant theme sometimes with Jimmy since last season. You pass a lot. That's fine. He's improved within the offense playmaking since he came to the Heat last season. It's been a gradual step which I'm watching. But sometimes his aggression is sometimes lacking, and sometimes even at some times has cost us games. And no way am I criticizing Jimmy Butler. It's just pointing to the fact that we have seen instances of him sometimes not having the same aggression at times and looking to be more passive. But this game, I do not blame on him not being aggressive. He did not have the same aggression that he did coming off an ankle injury he suffered against the Pelicans. So I clearly understand that, and I think if we had Jimmy healthy and with the same aggression, he would have won. But I'm not in that position to make excuses because Porzingis wasn't there for them. Porzingis makes a big difference. But I just felt if Jimmy is healthy and the same players are done the game, if Jimmy is healthy, I think the Heat would have won this game. But that's just my point. But if Porzingis comes back, maybe it turns a little bit dicey at times. But this is it, guys. This is my takeaways from the game. Luka Doncic is my first takeaway being Luka Doncic is a really crafty player, and you could see it as soon as he put Andre Iguodala and Avery Bradley on foul trouble during this game. Andre Iguodala played very less in the second half. He made a few triples, so I like that part of it. He hit only one triple. Kelly Olynyk hit 2. But Luka Doncic is a really crafty player, evidenced by the fact of his footwork and him being crafty to going to the free throw line, putting Avery Bradley and Iguodala in foul trouble. And third, the Heat weren't themselves on the 3-point line. And they started out 0 for 14. Before the first triple came in the second half. They started out 0 for 14. This is a big reason why the Heat were down 15 at the half. They are down 15 at the half because they went 0 for 14 from 3. The second takeaway, a third takeaway is that I like Bam Adebayo hitting that mid-range jumper. It opens up a lot of space in the offense, even if not a 3-point attempt. Mid-range, it's still a jump shot. Though taking the 3 would expand you out more, it's still pretty nice to see him take the mid-range and make it. Because in the past few games, he has been doing that. And fourth is Jimmy Butler wasn't clearly himself. You could see it from the fact that he sometimes lacked aggression. He went 0 for 6 from the field, didn't make any field goals, and his 2 points came off of two of 3 free throws from the line. He missed the other one. So these are my takeaways from the game. I'll be posting an edited version of this in my video there. So I thank you guys for whoever listened to this segment here. I will see you all next time. Thank you guys for watching the video. If you like the content put out by me, please subscribe to the channel. Do not miss a piece of daily NBA content. And I will be seeing you guys in the next video.